I'm not sure how much more my body can take. With me being sober, I don't treat myself when things are really bad. But because of that, my organs are failing. I'm getting constant head injuries. During winter, I'm falling over into the road, shaking horribly. During these seizures, I'm pulling my organs apart in my GI, and I'm bleeding internally, and gravity's bringing it down and pulling into my groin, or we'll say my pulling into my, you know what, hairless balls. It's not actually funny at all. I'm also not able to stand up. I'm bent over all the time. I have to use two canes to get around. This is only recently. Whenever I have, like, say, an infection in my mouth, I get more injured. I have more seizures on the side of the road and injuries. I also have more problems speaking when I'm having these other problems like infections, or I twist my GI during a seizure, then I'm more likely to have another one during the next couple months because that ends up making it much worse. Now, it wasn't this bad as a child, but when there was stuff going on with me, it could get pretty bad. Like for instance, one time I was watching fireworks, the loud noise banged, and it shot me to the ground, shot lightning through my spine, and I screamed in pain. I was about 10 years old. The night this happened, I got the worst reaction. I lost the ability to see, my vision went everywhere. I lost the ability to walk. I think I've mentioned that one enough times, but that was the night this happened to me. There was many other, I can name at least 12 more times where I was heavily drugged, and this wasn't like my regular medication. This was like, I'm going to wake up or never wake up at all. I'm going to wake up in bad condition, or I'm never going to wake up at all. That's not good. That can't continue to happen to your children without there being long-term consequences. And then, of course, I chose to use some drugs like opiates, benzodiazepam, and alcohol. And yeah, even though I don't think that did a lot of damage because I did see improvement, I'm sure that the long-term damage I'll see later, as well as the smoking, won't help my heart. But after 25 years of my body screaming for help from all these druggings, and the fact that it's visible and there's doctor records going back all the way from 7 years old. I mean, come on. My mother put me in ballet for it. She said that I had problems moving my body and I was bumping into stuff and I needed ballet. Well, that wasn't the case. The reason why I'm bumping into stuff, the reason why I can't move my body is this neurological condition, and I wasn't born with it. I never had this feeling. I never had the lightning in my spine. I never had problems like this until that night where she went wacky with the pills, and then this all happened to me, and she refused to call an ambulance. And then every time after that she drugged me, it got way worse. Then when I became an adult, it just got worse, worse, worse. The smoking made it worse. I mean, cigarettes don't cause any permanent damage, but it doesn't help either. Stimulants make it worse. So when you look back at this, my body can't take any more. 25 years of this is too much. I'm not sure how much longer my body can hold on with all these seizures, shakes, and not being able to move my body properly. I mean, I can't even skip a goddamn, like, rock against a river because it doesn't come off with the right way. I end up whacking myself somehow. I end up whacking my own shoulder, for goodness sake. I mean that's not right. I can't stop my arm in time to stop whacking my own shoulder. I mean, it's just this nervous system has always been a problem. And if you ask some of my relatives, they'll tell you, yeah, I had problems skipping stones straight. I fell down a lot. I was in ballet for coordination issues. I was heavily medicated. There were times where I was unconscious that I shouldn't be. There were times where I looked depressed where I shouldn't be. There were a lot of medications involved, a lot of state moving, a lot of loss of education. If you need me to go further into these topics, I'd be happy to. Not actually happy, it would be traumatic, but I will. And I just really need the help now from the neurologist, from the state, from Social Security to deal with this 25-year-old disorder so I can continue running my business, so I can continue living and saving money at my apartment, so I can get that a rental in South Carolina. I mean, that's all I really want, but if I continue to have head injuries, if cars continue to almost run my head over, if I continue to shake every morning horribly, If my body continues to reject what's happening to me and adds on more symptoms like concussions, pulling on my intestines during a seizure, falling down, twisting an ankle, things like that, it's going to cause more problems, like it always has. And now I'm not treating it with anything. I'm not going to have a drink just so I can sit still for a second. None of that stuff happens. So now I'm waiting on my family, the state, Social Security, and the doctor. While I try to hold the job, what I've been doing for over 7 years, I've had plenty of jobs, and when I have a seizure at one of them, I just move to the next one. That way they can say, wow, what a great job, because they haven't seen the seizure yet. They only see the shaking, they see some falling down, stuff like that, but I'm able to hide it from the customers. And most of the time I run the business by myself, what makes it much easier to hide. But I obviously can't hide a neurological condition, so people see it constantly. I just don't want them to see the falling down part. So if I feel like I'm going to fall down, I go in the bathroom, lock the door, pretend like I'm using the bathroom. Even though I still fall down on the way to the bathroom sometimes, I still have the numbness in my body like I did as a child. I mean, I even used to try to bite myself to see if I could feel my skin, and that was at like 7, 8 years old. I don't do that stuff now, but I obviously still have the numbness in my nervous system that I did then. Um, I was speaking up about this night as well, and my mother called it an allergy attack, was total bull, so that tells me she was trying to cover it up as well. And this Social Security business adds in a whole nother side of this. So please listen to me, understand me, and know that I don't have much time left if nothing gets done. And I'm not just going to sit here and find a hole to die in, that's for sure. I'm going to find somebody that can help, and I'm going to try to do something to make this better. And if I can't make this better, I'll find the best way to go out. That's all. The safest, most quick or painless way to go out. But know that after 25 years of this and nobody listening, nobody looking at the red flags, and when I spoke up about this night, straight up, said something happened this night, right in front of the doctor, right in front of my father, right in front of my mother, we could have had a discussion right then, right there, about this. I mentioned it at least 10 different occasions in the doctor's office, and they totally dodged the question and wanted to shut me down, then my mother would punish me. That's wrong. I'm trying to fix a neurological condition, and you're punishing me for it.